All right, let's dive into one of the most legendary travel routes in all of Thailand. That epic journey from the buzzing energy of Bangkok all the way up to the beautiful temple-filled hills of Chiang Mai. It's a trip just about everyone takes, but how you do it, that can totally change the game. So which way is right for you?
And that's the big question, isn't it? Are you trying to save every last baht? Is your time super valuable? Or are you really just looking for an incredible, unforgettable experience? We're going to break down all the options to help you figure out your perfect way to head north. Okay, so first up, let's get a bird's eye view. Before we get into all the nitty-gritty details, let's see what thousands of other travelers thought about making this trip. So the big picture here, it's really positive. I mean, look at that. Out of more than 23,000 reviews, a whopping 84% of people gave their trip 4 or 5 stars. That tells you that honestly, no matter which option you pick, you're probably going to have a pretty good time. So what are the main ways to get there? Well, sure, you could hire a private taxi or maybe hop in a shared van, but for most people, it really comes down to 3 classic choices: jumping on a plane, taking the bus, or riding the train. We're going to focus on those 3 because they really show you the different trade-offs you have to think about. And that brings us to the heart of the matter for pretty much any trip anywhere in the world: price versus time. This is where you really start to decide what your journey is all about. Wow, okay, the price differences here are pretty huge. The train is just incredibly cheap to start. The bus is a reasonable step up, but flying? Well, that's in a whole different category. That massive gap between the train and the plane is where your first big decision really lies. Just let that sink in for a second. For less than what a lot of us would pay for lunch, you can travel almost the entire length of Thailand. That is an incredible value. But, as always, there's a catch. And here it is. That unbelievably cheap train ticket comes at the cost of your time. And we're not just talking a few hours. We're talking about a journey that can eat up most of your day, or even an entire night on the tracks. Now, on the complete other end of the spectrum, you've got the flight. In about an hour and 15 minutes, boom, you're touching down in Chiang Mai. When it comes to speed, there is just no contest. So it really all boils down to this one question. On this trip, what's more valuable to you, your money or your time? Flying saves you basically a full day of travel, but it can cost you more than 7 times what that train ticket does. That's the fundamental choice you have to make. Okay, so numbers on a chart are one thing, but what does it actually feel like to take one of these trips? Let's hear it straight from travelers who've been there and done that. For the people who choose to fly, the whole experience is about one thing: efficiency. Just like this traveler says, the process is smooth from beginning to end. You book, you check in, you fly, and you're there. Simple. It's the most direct, no-fuss way to get to where you're going. A first-class bus can be surprisingly comfy, with great seats and good service. A lot of travelers take them overnight, which also saves you money on a hotel room. But like this review points out, it is still an 11-hour ride, so you might want to pack some extra snacks. It's a really solid middle ground option. The sleeper train. This is often seen as the classic Thai travel experience, and it can be amazing. You go to sleep in one city and you wake up in a completely new one. The tip here is fantastic, by the way. Always double check that train number so you don't have any mix-ups at the station. Okay, this slide just perfectly sums up the reality of budget travel, doesn't it? On the very same type of train, one person has a great experience while another found it totally miserable. It's a huge reminder that when you go for the absolute cheapest option, your experience can be, well, a total roll of the dice. And this, right here, this gets to the heart of it for some people. This person chose the cheapest, most basic train, not for comfort, but for the experience. It's about watching the real Thai countryside roll by your window. The rice fields, the tiny towns, the daily life you would completely miss from 30,000 feet in the air. It's a great reminder that sometimes the journey itself is the adventure. Okay, we've looked at the numbers, we've heard the stories. Let's put this all together and figure out how you can choose your perfect trip. Let's break it down nice and simple. If your number one priority is your budget, the third-class train is your champion, no question. Just be ready for a long, maybe not so comfy ride. If it's all about speed, you have to fly, but you'll pay more and you'll miss all that scenery. For that classic travel experience, the sleeper train is iconic, but you have to book it early. And if you're all about pure comfort, a first-class bus or a flight are your best bets, and you just have to decide between time and money. So in the end, the best choice really just depends on you. What kind of traveler are you? Are you the adventurer who wants a great story to tell? The practical person who just wants to get there as fast as possible? Or the voyager who's looking for that perfect balance? There's no single best way to get from Bangkok to Chiang Mai. There's only the best way for you. So choose your adventure.